Throughout history, Egypt has captivated the world with its rich array of myths, mysteries, and monumental achievements. Among these, the art of mummification stands as one of the most fascinating and enigmatic practices that symbolize the ancient Egyptians' deep reverence for the afterlife. Over the centuries, countless mummies have been unearthed, and each tells its own story of life, death, and the journey beyond. Yet amidst these silent figures lies a haunting enigma that has puzzled scholars and intrigued the public for decades. While most mummies rest in peace with their faces calm and serene, one stands out as a chilling exception: a woman whose face has been frozen in a nightmarish scream for 3,500 years. This is the story of the Screaming Woman, a mystery that has finally begun to unravel, revealing not only the secrets of her death, but also the details of her life. The Screaming Woman was first unearthed in 1935 beneath a tomb intended for a royal architect named Senmut in the ancient necropolis of Deir el-Bahari, near Luxor. Unlike the countless mummies that have been discovered in Egypt over the centuries, this one was different. Her face was contorted in what appeared to be an eternal scream and left those who saw her with a sense of unease. How could a person die with such an expression of agony, and why had her face remained frozen in this horrific grimace for millennia? The mystery of the Screaming Woman only deepened when researchers began to study her remains in more detail. She was interred sometime in the 15th century BC during Egypt's New Kingdom, a period marked by great prosperity, architectural achievements, and the height of Egypt's power. The woman, whose identity remains unknown, was adorned with a black wig and buried with her hands placed over her groin, a position that suggests she was not of royal blood. Yet, despite her lack of royal status, the materials used in her mummification were of high quality, indicating that she was likely a person of some importance, perhaps belonging to the elite class of ancient Egyptian society. For decades, the Screaming Woman's ghastly expression was attributed to substandard mummification practices. Scholars speculated that the embalmers had simply failed to properly secure her jaw, allowing it to fall open after death, resulting in the appearance of a scream. This theory seemed plausible, especially given that the woman's brain, heart, liver, and other organs had not been removed, a procedure that was typically reserved for those of higher status in ancient Egypt. However, recent studies have challenged this explanation, suggesting that the story behind the Screaming Woman's final expression is far more complex and tragic than previously thought. Using advanced imaging and chemical analysis techniques, researchers have uncovered new evidence that contradicts the idea of sloppy embalming. Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy, or FTIR, revealed that the woman had been embalmed with expensive foreign materials, including juniper and frankincense, which would have been imported from distant regions such as the Mediterranean, East Africa, or southern Arabia. These costly materials were typically reserved for those of significant social standing, indicating that the woman was not only well cared for, but also highly valued by her community. This discovery led researchers to reconsider the idea that the open mouth was the result of poor mummification. It's important to note that open-mouthed mummies are extremely rare in ancient Egypt. Embalmers typically took great care to secure the jaw, wrapping it tightly to the skull to ensure a peaceful expression after death. Instead, the experts proposed a different explanation, one rooted in the moment of the woman's death rather than in the practices that followed it. The researchers hypothesized that the woman's mouth may have been locked open due to a condition known as cadaveric spasm. This phenomenon, also known as instantaneous rigor, occurs when a person experiences an intense emotional or physical trauma at the moment of death. The muscles of the body, including those of the jaw, contract suddenly and remain in that position, creating the appearance of a scream that is preserved in the body even after death. This new theory could paint a more tragic picture of the woman's final moments. Did she die in excruciating pain, her last scream frozen on her face for eternity? While the exact cause of the Screaming Woman's death remains a mystery, the clues left behind in her remains provide a peek into her life. Standing at 1.54 meters tall, about 5 feet, she was of average height for her time. She died at the age of 48, which was a respectable age for an ancient Egyptian, and her body showed signs of mild arthritis in the spine, which was also a common ailment among those of her age and status. One particularly intriguing aspect of her life is the condition of her teeth. The woman had lost several teeth before her death, and researchers believe that these teeth may have been extracted by an ancient Egyptian dentist. The extraction of teeth, whether due to decay or other dental issues, was a known practice, and it is possible that the screaming woman sought the help of a practitioner to alleviate her dental problems. In an effort to restore a more youthful appearance, the woman's hair was dyed with henna and juniper, a common practice among Egyptians of the time. Her wig was made of date palm fibers and was treated with quartz, magnetite, and albite crystals to give it a black sheen, a detail that suggests she was concerned with her appearance even in death. Despite the many details that have been uncovered about the screaming woman's life, the exact circumstances of her death remain shrouded in mystery. The cadaveric spasm that likely caused her mouth to remain open suggests a violent or traumatic end, but without clear evidence, the exact cause of death cannot be determined. It is possible that the woman died suddenly, perhaps as a result of a heart attack, stroke, or some other medical emergency that caused her body to seize up in a final moment of pain or terror. Alternatively, she may have met a more violent end, perhaps a fall, an attack, or an accident that left her in such agony that her final scream was forever etched onto her face. The lack of physical injuries on the body, however, makes it difficult to support the theory of a violent death, leaving the cause of her demise one of the many unanswered questions that surround this enigmatic figure. While the exact circumstances of her death remain a mystery, as no clear cause has been identified, the presence of a cadaveric spasm suggests that her death may have been far from peaceful. This spasm indicates that the final moments of her life were likely unpleasant, even though the precise cause may only be uncovered through future research. The story of the screaming woman is one of tragedy, mystery, and a glimpse into the practices and beliefs of ancient Egypt. Her horrifying expression, once thought to be the result of poor mummification, is now believed to reflect the agony of her final moments, a moment of pain and fear frozen in time for 3,500 years. Yet for all that we've learned, the screaming mummy still holds her secrets close. Who was she in life? What role did she play in ancient Egyptian society? And what tragic circumstances led to her apparent final moments of agony? These questions continue to tantalize archaeologists and historians, ensuring that the screaming mummy will remain a subject of fascination and study for years to come. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the mysteries of ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed unraveling the secrets of the screaming woman and want to discover more intriguing stories from the past, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more fascinating content, and we'll see you in the next episode.